Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of my How to Blog series where I share brilliant blogging insights with you. If you missed it, check out part 1 over here. Now, I don't think I was officially encouraging in my first video, so first I want to say, go you! It's awesome that you're doing blogging, it's going to be a thrilling experience, and you're going to be great at it. I know you're really antsy to get started, but I suggest that you wait just a little bit, figure out a few things before you start blogging. This might seem obvious, but before you start, you should really know what you're blogging about. This can be pretty much anything, and you can do it however you want, but it's important for you to know what you're blogging about. You can use your blog to review things like books, treat it like a journal and record your random thoughts, or use it as a platform to promote your public image. I do recommend you stick to one subject matter. From what I've heard, niche blogs that are on one subject tend to be more successful. Also helpful if you figure out who your target audience is and keep them in mind at all times. Like I mentioned in part 1, I've come to regret my choice of blog title and URL. Links to be found below if you're interested. It's a simple matter to change it on my Tumblr, but I'm kind of okay with it there. On my WordPress, I have more of an issue. It's a bit harder, not a lot harder, it's not the end of the world, but I would have to pay and there are different options, and then once I'm paying, I might as well start from fresh, and then that was like just so much effort, so I decided not to do anything, which was so much easier. My point, if you're still with me, is to think about the name that you're giving your blog. You want the blog name to match the blog URL, that's the address on top, and you want both to match your blog's personality. The URL can even be your name if you want, as long as it hasn't already been taken. And if you want, you can reserve a few different blog URLs and see which one you like better. With a free blog, you can reserve as many as you want, and if you're paying for each domain name, well, you're paying for each domain name, so it's really up to you if you want to put out all that money. I will say that if you're not going to keep a specific URL, it would be nice if you relinquish ownership so that someone else can take it. Unless it's a really great one and you're being really sneaky and you don't want anyone else to take it. Free platforms, I say? Yes, aside from figuring out which blogging platform you want, as like Tumblr or WordPress, you can also have free or paid versions of these blogging platforms. For instance, WordPress has WordPress.com, which is completely free, or WordPress.org, which you have to pay for. You don't have to pay for the actual software, but you do have to pay for domain and hosting and themes and a ton of other things that got me really confused, which is why I chose to go the free route. I know a free blog sounds great, I know I thought it was, but then I realized that there are actually a lot of things that you can't do with a free blog that you can do with your own blog. Also, speaking of blogs and money, here's an interesting point. You can make money blogging. It's not easy to do, but it can be done. There are people whose livelihoods come from blogging. Now, there are different ways you can do this. You can promote a product, you can become part of an affiliate program, you can have AdSense put up ads on your blog, or you can put a little donate button on your blog and ask people for money. That could work too. You should note though that not all blogging platforms are okay with you making money. I know WordPress.com, when I was on it, you couldn't use AdSense and they didn't want you making money directly from it or something. I know now that they have something called AdWords. If you're interested in making money blogging, I suggest you research this. My final recommendation before you start your blog is to do exactly what you're doing now, which is research how to blog. Just read up as much as you can on it. A very helpful blog that I checked out when I was first learning to blog is Darren Rouse's blog. I'll put the link below. He's Australian and he's nice. Both are cool. I kept a tab open to his blog for like months when I first started blogging, and it's great for beginner bloggers, intermediate, advanced, whatever your stage, he pretty much has it covered. If you've got anything to add on the topic of blogging, put it in the comments. Up next, blogging tips for when you start blogging.